Greetings, this is Donna Gilliland, founder of Most Training, which stands for Microsoft Office Solutions. This is a quick video, and it's a part of a series of videos to teach book authors and anyone else who has need of advanced formatting in Microsoft Word documents. I'm in Microsoft Word 2010, and this would also be applicable to you in lower versions of Word as well. But the assumption is you're working with either 2007 or 2010 because both those versions have the ribbon interface. So let's get started. In this particular video, it's going to, here are your training objectives. We want to work on teaching you how to use section breaks, because section breaks will allow you to divide your document into sections where the formatting within those sections would be just unique to the pages within those sections. Then on how to have a different header and or footer for odd pages versus even pages, and then how to change the numbering scheme of your page numbers as well as the format, because you may need Roman numerals, for example, and how you can change the page numbering so the format is Roman numeral. So let's get started with this video, and let's work on the preface that you have the book finished and you haven't done any formatting. Certainly we could do these type things as we go along in creating the book, but we'll work on the preface. It's a finished product and you haven't done some of this formatting. And right now I'm on a copyright page, for example. So you might have a copyright page, an acknowledgments page, a table of contents page. By the way, that will come in another video, how to create an automatic table of contents. And then you may have a page for a forward, and maybe with the forward you want Roman numeral formatting for the page numbering. You'll learn about that. And then you get on into the book. You get into that first chapter. Now, it's important for you to first understand how Microsoft Word works in terms of sections and formatting, and it's very, very easy, so let's get started. When you create a document in Microsoft Word, every page that you put into that document is in section 1. Everything's in section 1, which means that if I change the left-right margins on page 5 of section 1, then all the pages that are in section 1 will become those left-right margins. Or if on page 3 of 5 total pages I were to insert a landscape format, well, all the pages are going landscape because they're all in the same section. Microsoft Word works on inheritance. That means that when the time comes, like here I am in this chapter, where I want this particular chapter to have a unique header and footer, maybe a different header for even pages, a different header for odd pages, then that chapter and all its pages will have to be in a section of its own so that it can be formatted independent of other pages. Here's how it works. If the book has already been created and you've chosen to do this after the fact rather than as you go along, then you would need to go to the page where you want there to be a section. Now I'm on the sample page called First Chapter Begins, and it's at this page that I want to include a section break. Now to do that, you'll go to the page layout ribbon, which is where I am now, and in the page setup group you have an option for breaks. It's a very small button, breaks. When you click the down arrow, you have two categories of breaks. You have one for page breaks, which the option just beneath would just give me a standard page break, and that page would just go on into the same section that I came from. But what you need is under section breaks. You have several choices here. One for next page. Now if I choose that one, the page I'm on, its contents are going to a new page, but within that page it would become a new section. But what we need is continuous. I'm on a page that I do not want to break into a separate page. I just want to specify that this page and pages that follow be in its own section. That way, see, I'll be able to have unique headers and footers for just that section. And in my case, in this sample, I need continuous. Now you don't see anything happen on the screen unless what's going to keep you up to date with where you are on sections and pages is your status bar at the bottom. The word status bar is the gray bar just up above your Windows status bar, and it will tell you in the lower left what section you're on, what page you're on, and how many total pages there are of the document you're working in. But you might not have that turned on, and if you need to turn it on, and I suggest that you do, that you go to your gray status bar and right click, and that will bring up all the customization options for what displays in the status bar. Anything with a check mark is already turned on, and as you can see, my section and page number is check marked and it is displaying in the status bar. So just remember, you're only a right click away from turning on these options in your status bar. Now that we've got that out of the way, we know that we're now in section 2, and I'm ready to start putting in a unique header for the top of the page for every page that has to do with this particular chapter. And some of you may want the page number on the left for the even pages, and you might want it on the right. I might not want a page number on the right for the page number. It's going to be up to you what you want. What you want to get out of this video is, how do I do that? How do I have a different header for even and odd pages? Well, it all begins with going to the insert ribbon. Now that we've got our section defined, from the insert ribbon, you have the option for headers, footers. You even have one for page number. If I choose page number, it actually will create a header that I can type in, and there's the option for going ahead and doing page numbers. Now, what I want to make sure is clear is you understand that you can either start your process of page numbering by choosing page number and choosing one of the pre-built designs, or you could go ahead and get into the header options and you could still put page numbers in using a header. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose page number, and I'm going to choose the option top of page. Now what you're presented with are these pre-built formats. And if you look, there's one that says plain number 2, and then this one says accent bar 1, and that one gives me a page number with a vertical separating line and then the word page on the right. If I choose that one, it does put it into my header. It puts it into my header. And if you didn't want the word page, well then you could simply double click the word page and you could put in whatever you wanted to. I'm not going to put in a piece of text here. Sample first chapter. And then while we're here in the header zone, you can see that because I've chosen a built-in, it's given me a format of a very faint horizontal border. And that can all be changed, and we'll deal with that in another video. But for right now, we need to focus on this header and why you see the words header section 2 as a tab beneath the horizontal line, and then over on the right it says same as previous. These are important things. One, you're being told that you're in a header and that this header applies to section 2. But you're also being told on the far right that it is connected to the previous section, which means that anything I do here would impact prior sections. But the beauty of sectioning the document is that I can disconnect the sections so I can treat them all differently, the pages within those sections. And that's what I want to do. Because I'm in a header, you have a header and footer tools ribbon. And look at all your choices. I mean, there's a header footer group, insert group, navigation group, a lot of tools here, but we need to right now focus on navigation. There's the option to go to the footer to put in a footer. And then there's the button that says link to previous. What I want to do is unlink this section from any prior sections. So I'm going to click link to previous, and then look, down below the hyphenated line on the right, there is no more reference to being tied to the previous section. Then more things you need to know is you may very well want a different header for even pages and a different header for odd pages. That's why from this same design ribbon, we would go into the options group, and there's the option that says different odd and even pages. And if you click different odd and even pages, now it says, because I am on page 5, it's an odd page, it says that this is an odd page header section 2. I'm just going to put on here sample first chapter odd page so we can keep up with what we're doing. And now that I've got that in, then you could click the button that says close header footer. This is all in the design ribbon, and I'm out of the header. Now, assuming that I have another page, you can see that there's not a header here, but what I can do is double click up in the white zone of the top margin here, and that's just a quick way to throw myself into header mode without having to go back to the insert ribbon and choosing to insert a header. Now look what it says. It says even page header section 2. Even header section 2. And I want to also disconnect it from any even page headers in the prior section, and I'm going to come back to the design ribbon and choose the link to previous, which is turning that off. And then, it's waiting for me to put in what I want on all pages that are even. And from there I could go to, if you look here on the design ribbon, and there is the option for a page number and the option for top of page, and I get those same things I had earlier. Here's one that says accent bar 1, but if I scroll down, here's one that says accent bar 2, and see, it shows the information to the far right. So that's just an easy way for me to get that to the far right. And I'm going to change the word page to say what I want it to say. I'm just going to put on here even page sample and close header. Now I'm on page 6. It is an even page, and it says even page sample. I roll back up, and there's my sample first chapter odd page. Now watch what happens if I put in another page. By the way, all pages after this would carry this format, and I'll show you. I'm just going to break the page with Control Enter, and I'm now on an odd page, and it is carrying my numbers scheme with me, and it does say sample first chapter odd page. That is the header I put in for odd pages. If I break the page again, see, look, now I'm on an even page, and I've got that same wording. Get the idea? So all pages within that section would carry this format. I'm going to go back to the beginning, Control Home, and as you can see, it's carrying everything that I created in that section. And you might be wondering, well, why? You disconnected the section. I sure did. But because of inheritance, it's going to these other sections. But because I've disconnected the sections, if I delete these out of these sections, it won't delete what I created in section 2. So I can double click that zone there and select what's there and delete. And I'll go down to the next page. See, all this is in section 1. See, look. They don't have any of those headers. And it didn't delete the ones in section 2 because I had disconnected the section from prior pages. That would also allow me to go back to those pages in section 1 and put in whatever header I wanted, and it would not follow through into this section 2. Get the idea? All right, so let's go back and let's deal with the page numbering for a moment. It has assumed that I wanted to start with page 1, but you may want the numbering to be consecutive, regardless of the pages that precede, such as the foreword, the copyright page, that type of thing. If you double click in the header, then you could click and drag over the page number, which is actually a field code that has been generated. And once selected, you can right click to get actions on what you can do with that field code. And what I want to do is to format the page number so that I can control what number it starts at. Now right now it's assuming I wanted to start the page at 1. I'm actually on page 5. I want it to continue from the previous section and give me sequential numbering. And when I click OK, look, it does become 5. It does become 5. Now let's go back for a moment to the page where we might want Roman numerals. This one is the forward page, so I might be doing a forward page, and I want maybe small Romans of the true page number that I'm on. And the page number I'm on right now is page 4, but I want it to be a Roman numeral. Well, that was going to be a footer. It's going to be a footer. And I can go to Insert, and then I could choose a couple of things. I could start with footer and pull page numbers from the footer ribbon, or I could go ahead and just choose page number and choose to have the number put at the bottom of the page. I could choose from the built-ins that are here. And here's one here that says plain number 2, and the page number is in the bottom center. But see, you're going to have to decide what your formatting is. Do you want it at the bottom left, bottom right, center? You can choose from these pre-builts. Now I'm going to go with the one that shows bottom plain number 2, which is a bottom center. And it does show me, it does throw me into the even page footer section. Is what I'm in. Now look up above in the design ribbon. It does say different odd even pages because that's what I had chosen before. But if you wanted something different for the footers, you could turn that off. Now again, it's showing me 4, but I want it to be a Roman numeral. Click and drag over the number, right click, choose Format Numbers, and then up above where it says Number Format, click the down arrow, and then you can pick from the Roman numerals. I want lowercase. I choose the lowercase Roman numeral, and it does say right here start at I, so a 1, but you could say to continue from previous section. Click on OK. And let me get back up to that page. There's my footer. See, there it is. Page 4, Roman numeral. Page 4, Roman numeral. Now remember, this is all in section 1. Down here at the first chapter begins, that's where we issued our continuous break. And I don't have any page numbers at the bottom of this one. I have chosen to place them at the top. But see, look, they're not Roman numeral. They're not Roman numeral. But then again, the Roman numeral we applied actually was to the bottom of the page. So it really wouldn't have an impact on this one. So I hope you're getting the idea. So let's recap what we've done in this brief video. We've been discussing section breaks, which is the ability to divide the document up into the pages within chapters into their own section so that formatting you apply would go only for that section and not impact any pages that preceded. And then of course after we created the section, we also unlinked the sections so that we could go back to prior sections and take off anything that it was inheriting without impacting the new section and the pages within. You also learned to change the numbering format of page numbers, and remember that the way we did that was once you see that page number, I'm double clicking in the header, I can click and drag over the page number, right click and choose Format Page Numbers, where I can pick the number format, whether I want to continue with sequential numbering or I want to start numbering at a different value if I need to. So that's it on this video, which is on section breaks. And you are welcome to come over and post questions on my Facebook page if you like, facebook.com/MOS Training, MOS Training. or you can certainly email if you'd like, train@mosttraining.com. But there'll be more videos coming. This one should get you started. It's bye for now.